Grab your campaign hats, Wargamers, because today we're going through Interlude number 4 of the Adventures of the Blackraven. As you recall, in the last adventure, the crew managed to get their hands back on Elron Sluggard, the leader of a space cult, who has information on the whereabouts of a certain magic space baby. Unfortunately, they took a couple of injuries along the way. So let's find out what happened to poor old Rusty, who I think has been put down in every single battle, and the lovely Miss Marion, the technician. To do that, we turn our attention to Void Pirates. And it's worth noting that both of these fine gentlemen get 2 experience points. These, although they went down, they still get an experience point as well. But we'll get to that. First thing we got to do is find out the fate of the Fallen. Look at that great little sketch. I would buy a whole book of art with a guy like that. I want a comic book in this style. And I think I know just the writer to do it. So the first thing we got to do is roll on this handy little chart. And we subtract 1 from the die roll. For Miss Marion, she was knocked out, but not stomped on the head. So we get a 6, which cuts down to a 5. Minor scrapes, no ill effects. She is one tough Chiquita. On the other hand, Mr. Rusty rolls a 1. -1 is a 0 for dead or destroyed. He just couldn't take it. He was a dead man walking, and those wounds finally did the trick. So we are going to say goodbye to Mr. Rusty, and we're going to bring him in focus so we can give him a proper send-off. There we go. Rusty, you were a good man and a good fighter. You were one tough SOB, but you just took too much blamage. For those keeping score at home, this particular figure is from Rebel Miniatures. He is one of the Titan Scouts. I have made a little bit of a change. He was originally holding 2 pistols, and I chopped the sword off a fantasy figure and stuck it on there. So he is going to go into the graveyard, and we'll have to find someone to replace him at Tortugastra. In the meantime, we also have some experience to take care of. Marion earned her 6th experience point, as did Cobalt 15, as did, well, Rusty, not that it does him any good. However, Lieutenant Dane also got his 6th and 7th experience point. What that means is they get to do some bumps. We'll find the right page, the benefits of experience. Since he is the leader, let's go ahead and start with Cobalt. And he gets, we're going to roll in the general bumps, he gets +1 vitality. So he now has 7 hit points. That's pretty good. Our shooter, our sharpshooter, he's going to roll twice on this chart. He gets a 1 and he gets a 3, and he gets to pick. So he can either take +1 to close combat or +1 vitality. I think you got to take the +1 vitality. That puts him up to 4. And that's pretty impressive. We are going to roll on the specialist chart for the lovely Miss Marion. They have a specialist chart as well, so a simple D6. And we get a 1. We're rolling a lot of 1s with that Xochi dice. Plus 1D to special trait. So she was already special, now she is extra special. And for her, what that means is, hey, I recognize that guy. Hey, it's him. What that means is, you'll forgive me, I love those little details. That stuff just cracks me up. What that means is that when she uses her med kit, she is now going to roll 7 dice against a toughness of 3. So she should do a little better at keeping people on their feet. That's it for the experience. That is it for this particular book. I don't think the upkeep, we don't pay any attention to that because we're not running Void Pirates by the book. We're running Void Pirates by the books. Plural. Oh, there's my notes on what all these poor bastards have been through. They're on a quest to find the magic alien, baby. And after every battle, they have to roll on the quest chart, which I can't find. Hang on. Here we go. First edition, 5 parsecs from home. We're going to roll on this chart. And because we've had one success, we're going to add 1 to our die roll to see whether that was a diversion or we achieved a lead. And we get a 6, we get a 7. It's a milestone. Okay, he says, look, I sent you on that wild goose chase, but now I'm going to tell you exactly where you can find the magic space baby. And in return, all you need to do is read this literature about Xenu. And Cobalt says, all right, I'm going to read that literature. And then he file 13s it. So what happens next? Now, normally, when you're playing 5 parsecs from home, that milestone puts you halfway to your goal, and you got to go through the whole thing again. You got to go through a series of encounters, and every success, you roll a d6 on this chart. And with every lead you acquire, you add a +1 to that roll. So eventually, you hit the milestone again. However, we're not going to do that because we've got a lot of other games to get to on guard, and I want to try the fantasy version, goal system delves. There's so much stuff I'm working on. I think by now you've seen the big city I'm working on. I got to do that as well. So we're going to play a half campaign, and we have one last shot at seeing whether or not Cobalt 15 can get his hands on the magic space baby. We'll go play through some other games, and then we're going to pick up the adventures with a second campaign where, well, I don't know what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next one. I don't write this stuff. I set up the scenarios, and then I roll the dice, and then I move my mice, and I figure out what the dice have. So, for all I know, the Magic Space Baby is like 200 pounds and, loves Baby Ruth candy bars, wears a Superman shirt, and loves to swing on ropes on old pirate ships that have been buried in caves for a long time. That said, we still need to figure out what the next quest mission is going to be. And for that, we roll a D100. And I like Mazochi dice, so we get a 79, which means a find. Oh, wow, what a coinkydink. We have to find the magic space baby. So we're going to do 4 terrain features on the opposite of the table, use the search mechanic to identify it once it's been located. The mission is a success, and the group can withdraw or fight off any remaining hostile elements. Well, what kind of hostile elements are we talking about here, brother? And for that, we go to the missions and enemies table, which requires a percentile roll. And the 17 is going to give us a mercenary group. At least one figure will have a big dang gun. And I think we know exactly who that mercenary group is going to be. Bum 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 bum. It's the Pelagics. We're going to see the Sharkticons making another appearance. In fact, I think we'll probably... Well, I don't know who they're going. I don't know where they're going. Let's find out where the next battlefield is. And fortunately, Ivan Sorensen, our gracious host, has a chart for that. In-game events, meeting engagement opportunity setup, battle area layout. That's what we're talking about. Roll a D100. And it's going to be 54 for moderate. We got a big feature, some small features, and some individual features. And that's all they're going to tell us this time around. I feel like there's another, let's see, terrain considerations, interplanetary travel. Let me leaf through this real quick. Well, I thought there was something a little more inspirational than just 1 large, 3 small, and 3 individual terrain pieces. There's not. So what we're going to do is find a replacement. I mean, poor old Rusty. There's no replacement for him, but we need to slide somebody else into his slot on the crew. So we're going to go through the character creation tables that Ivan provides and see what our new hire is going to be like. Cobalt puts an ad in the Tortugastra Craigslist and manages to find 89. Someone from an industrial world. Oh, let's see. Industrial world, what does it say? It says diversification of colonial assets is a unity mandate, a Kafkocracy mandate. Many worlds are dominated by industry. So we got somebody from an industrial world who is motivated by 52 discovery. He just wants to see new things. He spent his life working on a factory line, and he had just about enough of that. So he said, "Hey, robot man." Let's find out what his class was first before we get too far. So he's a mercenary. Maybe after punching widgets, he went to the bars and punched drunks. In the meantime, he's got some circumstances that he needs to work out. Gadgets. He is a gadgeteer. Well, that's good to know. So we'll factor that in. And he's got a talent. 70. So his talent is... Now, if we're playing 5-core rallying cry, any friendly figure within 4 inches may roll to recover. So we're going to make him very inspirational. And I don't know how we're going to work those rules, but Void Pirates is robust enough to let you plug and play stuff like that. So what happens next? Well, I don't actually know. I'm going to have to sit down and figure out what kind of character our new hire is going to be. All I know is that he is a drifter from an industrial world who just wants to see the sights, and he signs on with Cobalt 15, little realizing what he's gotten himself into. Good news is he's a very loyal guy, and he inspires loyalty, and we'll find a way to work that into the mechanics of Void Pirates when we meet next time for the thrilling conclusion to the first Void Pirates campaign, The Adventures of the Starship Blackraven. Until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for keeping me company during this solo play, and God bless you.